Good morning, good morning. Where are we here? Let's try and get something a bit organized. Good morning, gang. Excuse me a second, a bit late getting all this set up. Too much stuff to sort out today. Okay, you can see where we are, tracing day. Is that it? Relatively balanced screen. And this really is not going to be much of an interesting stream today at all, but whatever. Which layer now? No, the blobs were done last time. The black blobs were done. Let's see, I think the black blobs are done. So, yeah, the black blobs are done. So what I'm going to try and do today is just the yellow, outline the yellow area, I think. And if I get done with that, move on to the pink, the octopus. But holy crap, it's been difficult getting this thing set up to go today. The cables, this is the first time I've done this downstairs. So all the USB connections and the cables and the power points and the charging have all been in different places. So I think we're okay. As you can see from the smaller screen, I've got the iPad on my desk where my carbon block usually goes. The iPad is connected to the computer with a USB cable just plugging right into the laptop. We're running software that's called Lonely Screen. Don't know why they call it that. It's a screen mirroring. The iPad is a function built in. You can mirror the screen to, for example, a large monitor or something that you have, or your TV set, so you can watch what you're seeing on your iPad on the TV set. It's part of the Apple TV setup. People have that in their living room, so they can sit with an iPad on their couch and use Apple TV to watch what's on the iPad. But we're using the same function to put the iPad down on a screen onto my Mac laptop. And once it's on the Mac laptop, then of course the OBS software here can look at that screen. So we get a bit of delay. I don't know what you're seeing. That camera should work pretty much in real time. Left, right, left, right, left, right. But down here on the other screen, you can see the movement here. If I try and move this over, you can see the delay there. It takes about 1 second or so before it kicks in. There's just too many stages here. It's going from the iPad to the Mac, from the Mac window to the OBS, and from the OBS up to you. So, yeah, I think it's okay. There's nothing really dramatic going to be going here. I'm going to outline the areas on these color blocks so that I can put them. Right now that I think about it, what I should do, the yellow, I should start with the octopus stuff, I think. That's the one that's going to take more time. The usual rule with me is start with the more difficult ones. The yellow is the easiest, so it'll go last. So let's do this. I don't know if you can see it here. There's a speckled pattern on the octopus. There's two tones. There's a pink background tone, which I don't need to trace because I can get that from the key block information. Then over and above that, there's highlights that go along each of the lines. Again, I don't need to trace that here because I can get that from the key block. But the dot, 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 dot pattern of the octopus flesh, I can't pick that up from the key block. So let's just do this zone by zone. Let's put part of this here where you can see what I'm doing. These dots, these are the ones we're talking about. So let's start tracing. It's much cooler here in Tokyo, much cooler today than it has been all the way through. The air conditioner here in the building is turned off, and I turned it off yesterday afternoon and things were cooling down. We probably won't need it today, we'll see. And as for the fireworks festival, this is now Friday afternoon, and we're still not sure. The typhoon out there is getting closer to Japan, but which direction it's coming, where it's going to hit, is still unknown. So I'm not sure about the fireworks festival tomorrow, whether we'll be seeing anything or not. So. Oops. Glasses off. Can I do this a little easier? What does the writing say in my lantern? It's Mokuhankan. It's the name of our company, Mokuhankan. Woodblock Place, the place for woodblock prints. Mokuhankan. The kan is a character that's shared by a number of Japanese words. Toshokan, tosho is reading, so toshokan is library. Bijutsukan, bijutsu is beauty, so bijutsukan is museum, gallery. Mokuhankan, mokuhan is woodblock print, or woodblock. So Mokuhankan is the place for woodblocks. We were astonished that nobody else had used that word. We couldn't find it anywhere. Even just doing language searches, nobody seems to have used the word Mokuhankan anywhere at all. Which is a red flag, because maybe it's sort of strange Japanese, but it seems not to be. Ah, Dave Glott, I can see who you are. Yes, thank you. It was fun yesterday. You were not yesterday, a couple of days ago, right? The morning session there. For those of you who don't know, the gentleman on the stream here right now is thanking about the print party. This is the gentleman who came in for the morning print party the other day. I forget what day that was, Wednesday or Thursday or something. I didn't check the typhoon weather report this morning. Has anybody got an update on that? Is the typhoon getting closer here? Can I see the blobs? Yeah, they're pretty faint on the original print. They didn't print them very, very stiff. I can't see them enough. What I really need from each of these blobs is not a really super detailed shape of the blob. I just need a rough indication of the size and position. And when I'm carving them, I'll carve them in a very natural way, not trying to reproduce exactly every sharp corner and roundness and whatever. We're not trying to make a forgery here that would fool people. We're trying to make a good reproduction of the print. So the blobs I carve will be natural blobs rather than microscopically identical blobs. So what I need right now is here are simply the location more important, and then the rough shape. Is it triangular, trapezoidal, or whatever? Remember, this is not a forgery level reproduction. We're making our whole print larger than the original was, so there's no question of being a forgery, of course. The light color lines, they're on the same block as the blobs, but I'm not going to trace them here, because what I'll do is I'll go back to the key block when I do my key block transfer, and that will give me the position of the dark lines, of course, and then I will just cut my knife along those lines. If I trace these now, it wouldn't give me any information I couldn't get from the key block. So yeah, but yes, those light areas like this one here, this area will be on the same block as the blobs I'm carving right now. Just I don't need to trace that information. And some of these are faint, it's difficult to tell. Is that a smudge or is it an actual carved blob? It's hard to tell for some. It was fun. It was fun to see Amy-san yesterday. If you saw the picture on the blog we posted last night, it looks like a little boy. It 100% looks like a little sumo wrestler, but it's a girl. And I made that classic mistake when she came in. I said, "Oh, how is he?" And she looked at me, "Dave, it's a she." And I'm like, "Yeah, I thought so. You told me that, but this, but." She said, "Yeah, I know. Everybody says the same thing." So she's sort of getting used to it. It looks like a little boy, 100% like a little boy. But there was better news with that visit yesterday. I guess it's okay to talk about this, I suppose. I'm not sure. She visited yesterday. This is for the first time since her child was born. She's been gone with us now for getting on for a year, really. And one of the reasons for her visit was, just social, to say hello. But while she was upstairs chatting with the other girls, she asked them, she sort of hinted first, would they be really bothered if there was a baby in the room sometimes? And like they looked at each other and like, do you want to come back and do some more printing? And she's like, yeah, I really would like to do some printing, but like I've got this baby. And the girls called me to find out if I would be cool with this, with having a baby around in the workshop, I come upstairs and chat with them, and this is, of course, this is the news I exactly want to hear. She wants to get back to work, But then we have a little detail of a problem. There's a baby. What do we do with the baby, Toyota runs daycare centers for their staff. We don't really have the capability to run a daycare center for our staff, obviously. But whatever we can do to make this happen, we would like to make this happen. So last night after she left, we got together, the printers and me, and we started doing some thinking and sketching about how we can do this. The current printer's room has room for 4 workstations, and then there's a tiny bit of empty storage space between that and the next room where Cameron sits with his computer, our quasi-office. And Cameron's moving downstairs to the 2nd floor, to the room that we've now abandoned after moving down here to the 1st floor. So the office space next to the printing room is now currently unpurposed. So already last night we were making plans. If we move that wall here and move that wall there, build a sort of semi-closet, semi-cupboard there, Amy-san gets space number 4, which means you can reach into the half-open closet where the baby bassinet is. We started to think about how we could make this happen. And we have to be careful because there's legal issues here. We're up on the 3rd floor of a workroom. There's no fire escape. There's no there's no sprinkler system, there's no fire escape. This is a fairly old building. And as far as, taking care of kids is concerned, we have to really be careful about legal issues and then, of course, common sense issues and safety issues. Because having a kid, having babies up here is a very different story from having a bunch of adults who could, get out quickly if there's an earthquake. But anyway, the thought is in the air that Ayumi-san really, really wants to come back and do some printing if we can arrange a way that we can help her with taking care of the child. So yeah, this is it, Cameron's Daycare Center. So I told him to go get a license or something. And he'll come back after 10 years of study and training and getting a license. Not. It's no joke about the legal issues, we have to really be careful. So far, we don't have licenses and stuff there's no business license for this place. The city doesn't care about a woodblock print shop. But taking care of babies is a different story. It's a whole different animal. Now we have a question what to do here. As you can see, the thing that I'm tracing right now, these pink dots, this color block is hugely misregistered on the original print. The pink dots need to be moved north about 2 millimeters. You're asking about a remote printing station. I know one of our printers, Kanai-san, is working at home. Absolutely. She's taking care of her kid because her mother is in the house. Her mother looks after the kid with her. Kanai-san is printing. That's one possibility. Ayumi-san said she specifically wants to come. She lives only about a half an hour from here, so it's not a big, difficult commute for us. So she wants to do the work here at Mokuhankan. This was her query yesterday. Is there a way that we can help work it out to make a facility where she could, tend the kid, print, and tend the kid and print? And the first question she asked, the number one, was would it disrupt the workshop? Would the other people think, oh my God, there's a baby here, what am I going to do? So the questions are on the table, and we ourselves were open to the idea. It's not a question of home printing. She has the choice to do that anytime, of course. Yeah, Jed-san, a color graph doesn't work. I'm going to move this thing manually. What I'm doing right now is I'm just going to trace the dots as I see them right now. Because later on, after I've done my color transfers, as I said, I will be tracing these pink lines, the ones that are against the key lines, and I'll be putting them in place at that time. My problem right now is it's difficult to see these pink dots where they are. So I'm going to trace them just as they stand and then move them as I do the color transfer. And they're too blurry, Jets, and we've tried doing color extraction in Photoshop manually, and it just simply doesn't work. It just pulls up a blurred shape instead of the shape of the actual blobs. We've tried this again and again and again. Sometimes when there's a really clear, defined area, Photoshop can do a pretty good job of putting some marching ants around the outside of it. But in many cases, most cases, it's just too blurry. Even when you use the tools in Photoshop to adjust the sensitivity and stuff. Oops, I'm going to go there. So at the moment, all I'm doing is getting the shape of the blobs, and I will move those myself. Jed's here. Yeah, chat with Jed. Jed-san, while you're here, I've got an idea to toss at you. Not an idea for our work, but there was a gentleman in here yesterday. He was from the Netherlands. He's a collector of your stuff. He's got a bunch he bought from you online, and he's got some prints from us that he bought from us. He was here for a print party on Monday. I wasn't here. I was out on one of my recent visits. But he was here. Anyway, he came back yesterday because I missed him on Monday. He came back to chat with me. He'd come all this way from the Netherlands. He wanted to get a picture together, stuff like this. Anyway, Jedsan, the idea he passed, he said, I don't know, he's seen your Instagrams and your blogs. He knows you're going to San Diego Comic Con and this one and that one and all over the place. And he said, do you know, maybe you don't know about this, that he said there's a gigantic circuit of Comic Cons in Europe. And he said some are hugely attended, 200, 300,000 people going through these things. And he said, Jed, son, you should be, at some point, you or your agents should be over there in Europe doing the rounds of the Comic Cons. I chatted with him about the idea that you thought maybe some of these were becoming stale and you've gone back to the same ones too many times. And he said, that's it, get over to Europe. They would go crazy for you, was his point. Now, I don't know if he knew about this or he knows about it, but anyway, there are Comic Cons all over Europe, which are also worth looking into maybe, who knows. Anyway, don't get distracted, Dave. Now here's the other thing. This is the right-hand side, left-hand side. What you see, there's this divider just about in the middle of your screen here. This is the original print. It was made on 2 sheets of paper. The right-hand side on one set of blocks, the left-hand side on a different set of blocks. And the left-hand side here, when they printed this pink one, this one was registered correctly. And the one on the other side was misregistered down by about 2 millimeters. So when I'm pasting this onto my transfer sheets, I have to keep this in mind. The left and right are going to be registered correctly or incorrectly. Yeah, please don't worry about the poor registration. Of course we're going to fix it, absolutely. You can see green pops out, pink pops out, yellow pops out. They didn't care. It was a quick junk pornographic book. Nobody cared about how long it was going to take to make it. They just blew it through. We're taking a little bit more care. We still have to try and catch the life and vigor of the image, but hopefully without as many of the mistakes and poor production capability. Poor production. Oops. was for August 3rd, it said. Any news for Saturday yet? No idea. Just going to have to watch the typhoon. I know the people who run the festival will be making their call sometime Saturday afternoon. They will be calling. Festival cancelled, festival postponed 1 day. We just have to wait and see what happens. So, typhoon is coming in this direction, and at the moment the prognosis doesn't look so good. The prognosis looks better for a 1 day postponement, but we'll see. We don't know. So if you're thinking about checking in on that, all I can say is just watch. I don't know what I should do. Okay, what I will do, there's no easy way to communicate with Twitch viewers, but what I'll do is, when it comes to the day, the festival day, I'll put a message on our Twitch channel image, the place I usually do when I tell people that I'm going to be off for a while. I'll update the channel image with information on whether the festival is moving ahead as planned or whether it's postponed. It's so blurry here, it's hard to see where it is. It doesn't matter as long as we get a line that looks like rough octopus skin. I can never draw live for someone. I'm not drawing live. Yes, this print was made the same as the ones that I showed in that YouTube video. The left-hand side of the picture and the right-hand side of the picture were on different wood blocks. This image only appeared in book form. Yes, I'm telling you. Yes. Now, you might see this image in other places. It recently appeared on the Mad Men TV show. Of course, they just took Photoshop and made a printout of it and used it for their TV show. They hugely enlarged it for that use. The original book was a small handheld book, and the Mad Men people blew it up to wall-mounted size. The highest fidelity version of the image here. Yes, I guess so. I mean, I'm not familiar with anybody ever having reproduced this. I mean, of course, I haven't seen every single reproduction print that's ever been made in the past 2 centuries, but I've never, ever run across a different version of this. We see prints all the time. We're in the auctions all the time. Day after day after day, in front of my eyes come, hundreds and hundreds of print images from every era. And I've never, ever seen a reproduction of this. I think in earlier years, throughout the 20th century, it was just too strong. They couldn't sell it, couldn't make it. The normal publishing companies have never been able to publish stuff like this. People like Adachi and Takamizawa, stuff like that. So I don't know. There may have been underground reproductions of it made. I've never, ever seen one. But again, I can't tell you that. This is the first ever reproduction of the famous octopus print. I don't know. I've just never seen one. Where to go, where to go? Let's keep working away around the picture. Okay, let's get the little guy. So we show. People are asking where I am. If I move the camera a little bit, if I turn all the lights and stuff are on, if I turn this up, you can see where I'm sitting here. Oops, where's the... This is our Mocha Hong Kong lantern. Something started to make a little beeping noise. I shouldn't have changed anything. The iPad is starting to beep, 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 beep. What was that all about? The iPad says 83% charge. It's mirroring. It's charging. It's connected to this. We're okay. Fridge is upstairs. It's on the 3rd floor. Level 3. Can I try that again? The camera, which I was trying to adjust, is not even touching the iPad. Let's see. Alright, let's try it again. Here's the alcove, and if we look down the shop, there is the shop. All the lights are not on, so it looks a bit dark right here. Left hand side of the shop, we have our living with woodblock prints. Our counter, you're looking at the back side of the counter, of course, not the front. The right hand side of the shop. And the lights are off way at the back in the print party room, where people come for the print parties. So it's quite a bare, sparse shop, you know, right opposite me on the outside wall. When people come in, it's the Hunger Club session. And if I turn it right round, you can see what we see in the other camera. The front door, the shutter is still down. And maybe Cameron will be coming in, I don't know if he's in today or not. So it's quite a sparse, clean little shop. In the evenings, it's fabulous. It looks so nice and bright when it's dark outside. Sorry about that. Diversion, distraction. Owl spotted, yes. Spotted owl was the expression, I think. So, yeah, thanks. It's been a while to get this going. It took us way longer than it should have taken, but we do what we can do. Cameron should be showing up since 8:38. It's a bit too early, I think. Usually comes in the 10 or 15 minutes before 9 o'clock, right? Now again, the lines that are along the black line, we don't need to do these. I'll pick those up from the key lines. But what I need to catch here are all the blobs inside. So it's a bit confusing. What you're seeing is not exactly what this block will look like, because I'm just picking up the parts here that are not transferable from the key lines. The other color tone, the one that runs along these black lines, I will pick that up from the key line. Yeah, resurrect evening streams, you know, like, yeah. think that's what it is. I think it's a cicada. We have 10 seconds to clear the building. Has it been tough to keep prints in stock? Things are going down. It depends on the print, of course. Some are bestsellers, some are not. But yes, in general, our inventory levels are now getting lower and lower and lower. And this is why I've been more aggressive in the used print market with our friend Wade-san and in whatever auctions I can find. I've been much more aggressive buying because we can't find so many of our own prints. We can't supply so many of our own prints. It's becoming critical that I increase the supply of our used prints. But that market's getting tight too. I'm having to pay higher and higher and higher prices for the stuff. It's not just me. The market in general has come alive so much in the past few years with all the people visiting Japan. So prices for used Japanese prints are just climbing like crazy. Climbing. I gave up last night on a couple of auctions. There were some beautiful items that I wanted for the shop, but I just had to give up. They just went too high. We've chatted about this before. I know if I'm buying on an auction for an item for myself, I can pay close to what the value is. That's okay. But if I'm buying to resell it in the shop, I can't pay the value. I have to think about selling it at a reasonable value. So I can only buy for selling in the shop when I get a really, really good, aggressively low price. But so many people are out there in the market nowadays willing to pay what things are worth, which is not strange, but it's difficult for me to buy them at a level low enough that we can sell them for what they're worth. So it's getting much more difficult. I guess we're partly responsible for that, of course, because we're helping increase the interest in Japanese prints. But we should have had lots of financing years ago and done a guerrilla purchase, bought every print we could find in the market for the past few years before the prices started to climb. But we didn't think about it, we didn't have the capability anyway. So. It's frustrating seeing the prices climb so high. We want people to enjoy prints. We ourselves want to enjoy them. It's not investment for us. We want reasonable prices so we can enjoy the things. I'm not sure what to think about that. Is this price increase something temporary or whatever? I mean, there's always been interest in Japanese stuff all around the world. So I don't know. In the case of wood-block prints, maybe right now, because of the publicity and things that we've done exposing Japanese prints to the world, maybe it makes a difference. I don't know. or because of the Olympics, or we really, having an increase in value is just nothing that I want at all. It doesn't help us in any way whatsoever. We don't want to be selling stuff that people are buying because, oh my God, if I buy it now, it'll be worth more 5 years from now. That's the last thing we're interested in. We're not selling stocks, we're selling woodblock prints for fun. But I guess I'm part of the problem, of course. We are in the market for nice used Japanese prints. So last night, that auction that I lost, although I lost it, I didn't get hold of the prints. It was my bid. I was the second highest bidder, so it was my bid that determined the price. I bid whatever it was, $850, and the guy wanted it $900 or something, because I couldn't go that high. But I'm the one, the lost bidder, who pushed it that high. So it's the old supply and demand coming. As long as there's heavier demand, up will go the prices. So can't get around that, of course. One of the weird items that go have palonia boxes for hanging scrolls. Those are a dime a dozen here in Japan. Are you kidding? Literally a dime a dozen. There's Yahoo auctions every night for those old boxes and scrolls themselves. They go in lots of like 50 or 100 and stuff like that. If you search Yahoo auctions for kiribako, palonia box, you'll see all kinds of them every night. The scrolls too, they're a junk item here in Japan. They're available on auctions here in Japan in batches of 100, 200, 500 mixed scrolls. They go for nothing, $5, $10 each in batches of hundreds at a time. And it's junk and treasures. There's treasures in there and there's junk in there. We ourselves don't touch scrolls because it's just not our field of knowledge. But every home in Japan used to have a few of them. Every home. Certainly in the pre-war era, and for the post-war, for quite a long time. Now people don't have tokonoma in their houses, so these scrolls have just become baggage, excess baggage, and there are millions of them in this country. Used kimono fabric, old kimonos, old scrolls, old teacups, urushi, lacquerware. It's junk and treasures. There's plastic crap mixed in with glorious old items preserved from the old days. And the market here is so flooded with them, nobody here would buy them for their own use. Yeah, bonsai is a little bit different. Bonsai is still very much a thing here in Japan. This is not one of those things that was part of the culture X years ago but is now passed out. The hanging scrolls in the house, nobody wants them. No young couples or nobody's doing those. Bonsai, that's still a real thing. So that's a bit of a different category. It's perhaps not as common as it was in some years gone by, but it still very much is a real thing. When a typical school teacher, whatever, hits retirement age, he will absolutely play with bonsai on his balcony or in his garden. The old stuff is very much treasured. Here we go. Camera-san, good morning, good morning. Quiet little stream here today, sketching stream. The pink? It's it's just texture on the octopus skin. It's a bit difficult because one of the this print is left hand, right hand are different, and the left hand was registered properly, the right hand wasn't. So I'm gonna have to take my Photoshop file and split it in half and
shift it over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Christine, good morning, Cameron, you want to take it over? I got to jump in the way, I'm sorry.
Oh, these are the
share certificates, yeah. So maybe just over there. Something.
Okay. Temporary holder place.
And I touched my charging here, and I did a 10 seconds to explosion kind of bomb alert here.
What?
I don't know, you'll see, it'll probably happen again in a minute or so. Don't take the screen?
Sure.
Yeah, not sure how many stuff's there. I've got lots of stuff plugged in here. The iPad's plugged in. Should be okay. If you just rotate it, we should be alright.
Feet.
It's not too bad, it's not so hot today, but that's be careful. Push the books away or something. Just push them back. Okay. Did we make it?
Good morning. I think we're survived. Hey, Jed.
Yeah, Jed's on here.
Yep. He said he's leaving though. Bye, guys. Love you, Cameron. Bye, Jed.
I'm getting too hot. And actually, I'm going to take a break for 30 seconds. I need some water.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's warm down here. No air conditioner yet?
Well, I didn't turn it. It was okay this morning.
Yeah, the morning was cool. That was nice.
But last night, for the evening shift, I just opened the door. I had the air conditioner off, opened the door for the evening.
Wow.
It was so totally different.
I bet it felt great.
But now it is. It's heating up now. Let me have a drink.
Yeah. Okay. Kantar. They mean turtle speaker in Japanese. If you read it kameiron and choose those kanji, yes, it could mean that.
What's this? Kameiron, right?
Yeah, kameiron, and then he used these kanji. It means like a turtle speaker, turtle discussion kind of thing. But
it's kame, of course.
Yeah.
Kameiron. Ah, okay. Dinon.
Yep. But yeah. Orangey. Today's stream brought to you by.
There's people that are convinced they're paying me for this.
Yeah.
Not.
No.
But we should look into it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a case of it every week or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Would that be ethical?
As long as we tell people it's happening.
Well, no, just curious. Suppose we sent a screenshot of this.
Yeah.
The Orangina import and said, hey, we're featuring your stuff, you know. Suppose they sent us a case. Would we have to talk about it, or?
Just the Orangina part of the budget. It'll go down that week.
They were talking about Saturday, the typhoon. I don't know. It's still too soon to call. It could go either way. Cancelled or on Saturday or postponed to Sunday. So.
Right. Lilac99. Surprised at how big Orangina is in Japan compared to North America. I've never seen it in North America. Did they sell
I've
it
never
over
heard of
there?
it. I didn't know. And it's new here. It's only within the last, is it a year it's been here now? I'd never seen it before. It just showed up, bang, about a year ago. I'd never seen it before then. I didn't even know it was a big deal in Europe.
Oh, huh. I think I'd seen it a couple of years ago here in Japan, but maybe it was a regional thing. I don't know.
Or in supermarkets, and now
Yeah.
they've cracked they've cracked Lawson.
Yeah.
7-Eleven doesn't have it.
Okay.
Lawson, 7-Eleven has their own brands, and
Right.
it's really actually poor. Now I avoid sometimes by going to 7-Eleven. The food is fabulous.
Yeah.
They're pushing their own drinks. It's ocha 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 ocha, their own bottled water. They have a very poor selection of juices.
Yeah. Drees123. Is this a new name? It's from seeing pictures on the blog. The shop looks very modern. I always imagined it being quite dark and wooden, but lots of wood, but very light.
This is what I wanted, absolutely, from day one.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted. We tried to do it upstairs, but we weren't able to do the white, clean look because of just the structure of the building. But once we had a free hand down here, this is it. I can't say I want an Apple store because that's a bit too much. And, and we don't have the kind of goods that sell for $10,000 for each square foot of floor space, whatever. You know, but I want a clean look. You know. Yeah. We need more greenery. Still haven't even got the 2 greenery stands in place yet.
Yeah.
So we're not there. But I was chatting earlier on the stream about the Aimi-san news, that sort of semi-bombshell she dropped yesterday. She wants to get back here with kid on her hip and get to work. And I'm like, what? Am I really hearing this? You know? Wow.
Yeah. It's exciting.
I chatted with Sugi-san about it yesterday because the only way I can really see it happening physically at the moment is if Sugi-san goes back to where she was before, the one that's shot by that desk, by the window where Kawai-san's working.
Right.
Then the one where Suga-san is now, we flip it around left to right, so we're back to the wall. We knock down the wall on the right-hand side where the paper storage is, behind there.
Oh, yeah.
And put a wall up the other side of it, so you can't access from the office area. And that becomes an alcove, and that's the kid in there.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we have to get air in there and make sure you knock the wall down, connecting with the printer's room. And the wall, you know, the hallway when you walk into the printer's room, tear down the left-hand wall halfway down to about waist height.
Oh, okay.
So the kid can't escape. It's like a playroom.
Yeah.
But it's airy and open and lit and air conditioned.
Yeah.
And then Aimi-san works at that print station, so she's right there's a printer and she can touch and do it. But that would mean Suga-san has to get kicked out. Well, not kicked out, but I mean, I've got to ask her to move, and I'm not so sure I want to do that because she's been such a steady, stable worker. You know, she's got her own corner there.
Yeah. Aeromess says Cameron suddenly realizes the change in his job description: childcare.
Well, Cameron's already doing it on an amateur basis.
Yeah.
Now it's
my own
switch
house.
to 24 hours a day. I don't think so. I don't think you get a chance to, because did you see Sugi-san's eyes? I mean, she just
loves it. Loves having a baby around.
In fact, she just said she will basically abdicate in favor. That's what she said yesterday. You know, she will just do childcare herself.
Yeah.
Ami-san comes in, Sugi-san gets up to the bed, take care of the baby till Ami-san leaves. So I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't help me at all.
No, because that's just changing one printer for the other. We want to have both.
And then the unspoken thing is if that does work, then we give Kanai-san a call. I'm like, are you happy out in the countryside, or do you want to get back to town or something?
Yeah.
And that won't work because she's with her mother right now, which is the perfect childcare situation. So I can't imagine her doing that. But I don't know what her plans are for her life, and whether she wants to be in the city or out there when it comes time for the kid to go to school and stuff.
Yeah.
But by then we don't, we wouldn't.
Yeah, it's years down the line. So.
But also the kid's not going to sit in the printing room.
No.
So we'll see. But this was very big news.
Yeah.
So it's too soon for me to announce he's coming back, but we were talking about it.
But it's something she wants to at least discuss and see if it can work.
Sure.
Speaking of skills, that I got one of the ukiyo-e heroes woodblock prints from Jed at the San Diego Comic Con. It's gorgeous. Can't wait to get it framed. Thanks for the support. That helps everyone. Mokohan-kan and Jed. Flight of Fantasy, it sounds like. This octopus has a lot of liver spots.
Is that what they're called? I don't know.
That's what Cordine got me is calling
I'm not
it.
too familiar with a close-up of an octopus. I
Yeah.
don't know. So I'm just copying what I see here, trying to make it look something like the original. Just clean up a bit. The technology here is working very well, you know.
Yeah.
iPad connecting to the
And it
iMac.
doesn't seem like there's a long
There's
delay
not so
between
much
them.
lag,
Yeah.
is there? I restarted the machine, cleared up all the other software, and what I did, I rescaled. We're not streaming at we're streaming at 720.
Oh, okay.
Before I was trying to stream at 1080. That seems to be a bit silly. This is at 780, and the only people who can tell the difference is somebody looking at it on a wall-sized monitor or something. That was a bit crazy. We were just stretching it too far. So 720 is fine.
With all this input and everything.
Oh, I got three. So
Yeah.
three video captures.
I think when we had the two videos, the 1080 seemed to be doing just fine. But
Well, it was all doing okay until the heat hit the other
oh
day.
yeah,
So
and all the heat too.
we copied sometimes.
Yeah, but there hasn't been a lot
But
going
no,
on.
it's okay.
Oh no, you are. I thought for a moment that you were off the screen, but you're in the right spot.
Sort of. Okay.
Thundering Bumpkin joins us and asks, "What are you doing?" Just arrived.
It's a long story.
Tracing an old woodblock print to eventually print out and put on a woodblock and carve and make new versions. Super simple, dumbed down version of what's happening, but
Well, yeah, this is what you see in the iPad is an original of an old woodblock, Japanese woodblock print from 18, I think it was 34. And we're tracing some of the components. Today's tracing, we're tracing some of these pink blobs. On previous streams, at previous times, we traced the black parts. Those were then transferred to a piece of wood and carved. I don't have it here to show. So we're doing piece by piece, color by color, assembling components that will be used to create a brand new version of this old Japanese woodblock print.
does it extend under the hair
Yeah,
here?
I have to decide what to do. It does. It's gray, 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 gray till about here. The gray block. There's no pink octopus about there. Then the pink parts do extend under here, and I'll be doing the same thing.
Okay.
And then over top of those, there's the heavy black. Bang! Remember
Yeah,
the
which
key block.
covers-
These circles, the suckers and stuff, and her ear and her light hair. That's the key block. On top of that, there's a black block.
Yeah.
This thicker black hair. You can see here at the edge of the black hair.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you can't see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, so the pinkish stuff will come under here a little bit, and that black will bang go over top. But because it's got spaces in it, stripes in it, it'll look semi-transparent. So it's very well done.
Yeah.
It'll look cool.
Yeah.
So yes, when I do this pink, I do have to make sure I go under just about 1 centimeter here.
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere around, I don't know, somewhere around there before it bumps into that gray. And we'll see that when we do the color transfers, because these large, thick black lines will not be on the color transfer sheets.
Right. And they're asking, did you trace the second hair block already, the
Not
darkest
yet.
one?
No.
Okay. So, coming eventually.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Ken Hart says, it sucks for you that she had thinning hair. That makes Makes it harder to do. But
Well, so that reminds me, talking about coming soon to a theater near you, I checked last night the Amazon Prime thing. Our movie is supposedly on Amazon Prime here in Japan.
right.
And when I clicked the link the publisher sent me, it jumped to Amazon JP Prime. We're a Prime member. And it showed the introduction page for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, rent it for 500 yen, buy it for whatever it was, 2,000 yen?
2,000 yen probably.
And there was no button to play it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about it. We are an Amazon Prime member. When I poked around, I could play the BBC, Blue Planet or whatever, blah, blah, because we're a Prime member.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't allowable to play. We have to buy it.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to have a movie on Amazon Prime if Prime members aren't allowed to see it? I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess they just have some that are available for free for Prime members, and then others that still have to pay for, still have to rent.
But is that the case in other countries? So people overseas who are Amazon Prime members, when they go to their Prime video page, is there stuff that they can't see that they have to pay? In other words, those aren't really Prime videos,
Yeah.
obviously.
I would suspect so, but let's see if anyone will answer. It is confusing that they call their video service Prime Video if not all the videos are free for Prime members.
It's not like I've actually been watching stuff. The last thing I've got time to do is sit and watch movies. But I wanted to see, I don't know, I wanted to see my movie. I've never seen it once 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whenever.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. I thought this was my chance.
Mr. Jellybone says, yes, it's the same in the US. And Aeromass says, yeah, I bought it through Prime. So it's confusing nomenclature. Calling
So it's a video that's not really on Amazon Prime. It's just on Amazon for purchase.
Yeah.
But why is it in the Prime section?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
Conceptualization says it was free for me to play in the US through Prime. Ah, it's all convoluted. Dre's123 says, you have to have Prime to actually see any of the movies. And some of them are free and others you have to buy. But you have to be paying for Prime anyway to even have access to the video store. The digital video store, it sounds like. That's
I'm trying to process that. So if you don't have a Prime membership, you can't buy video from Amazon then?
Except for the physical media kind.
DVD.
Yeah.
I see, okay.
At least that's what it's sounding like here.
Okay.
Don't know. Thundering Bumpkin. Interesting. Mentions I got to see a private collection of 1600s to 1800s era woodblocks and a bunch of the prints from them. And the blocks and prints in the US are a result of World War II looting, apparently, but they're in good hands of a professional art historian and licensed preserver. I've never heard of that. But
You said 1600s. There's nothing from the 1600s.
yeah.
The Japanese woodblock prints didn't get up and running really until the early 1700s. So I think there's a bit of a mixed story going on there. I'm not sure. And also the looting part of it makes no sense at all. I know the Americans did not loot museums and stuff like this. They bought stuff from collectors and people who were selling things.
Mm-hmm.
There was no massive looting of art objects or of anything here in Japan at the end of the war. There just wasn't that kind of relationship between the Americans pouring in and the Japanese. The Japanese were dead stone broke, and there was all kinds of stuff being sold.
Yeah.
Wonderful artworks and stuff being sold in the market at whatever cheap prices and stuff.
Yeah. So it may have felt like looting, but
I don't know, maybe looting in the sense that we see it in what's happening in Iraq and Afghanistan,
Yeah.
whatever, or whatever. But there's no looting in Japan in any one of these eras when the foreigners have been here.
yeah. So with spots like these, do you think these were mostly, not randomly, but kind of put together by the carver, or were these following exact shapes placed by the designer?
In between. Most of Hokusai drew the thing itself, the octopus and the lady and the sketches and the tentacles, and passed it into the publisher. Things like texture and tone almost always were added by people in the publisher's workshop. A little boy sitting here drawing textures and tones. To expect Hokusai to sit here and do all the individual dots and seaweed, it's work that we didn't need him to do.
Okay.
I can't tell you that for sure. We don't know. We weren't watching what's going on.
Yeah.
But almost
There were
certainly.
no streams back then.
Huh?
No streams back then.
But he created the image. He drew it. He sketched it at different levels first and cleaned it up. We've done YouTube videos on what we think, how this happened. But did Hokusai himself draw every one of these tiny little dots? Almost certainly not. It's totally within the capabilities of the staff in the publishing house. So these would have been drawn, just sort of like I'm drawing them now. Once the image is in from Hokusai, the staff puts it together and does this kind of work. Then it goes over to the carver. Okay, guy, here you go, get carving on this stuff. The carver carves these textures.
Yeah.
And if one of these dots had popped off while the carver was carving, he'd move on to the next one. There's no need to repair it. It wasn't that level of importance to the design.
Right.
And I could myself perhaps do the same thing. I don't think I popped off any of the black ones when I was doing it. But if I had...
Oh well.
Whatever, again, how much of an accurate, quote unquote, accurate reproduction do we want to make?
Yeah.
Again, our version is so much cleaned up and so much more well made and so much more nicely presented than the original was that it doesn't really matter. Here you can see again, we've come to the border line. On the left of this line is the left block. On the right hand, it's a different set of blocks. So even this octopus dot tone, it's a different pigment printed on different wood blocks by a different guy on a different day.
Yeah.
And then this one on the right hand side, look at this, we're down at the bottom of the image now. And I said before it was misregistered. So what's going on here? This pink line here now, if you can see with my finger which this pink line here now does seem to be registered in the proper area. The dots seem to fit. Going up to other parts of the image, let's just scroll this up and up and up and up and up. Oops, we'll skip by some of the little parts here, but we can see as we get here now, look at this. The pink area now is slid down. So that pink block shrank, and it shrank big time by about 2 millimeters top to bottom across this image. Susan, good morning. Hello. She's not going to come in. Okay.
She doesn't want to be on the stream. What was it? Oh, it's her with the door.
So again, when the printer's doing this, and again, we've said this thing 100 times, it's a porn book. He's just slamming it out. He maybe stop. Look, Mr. Publisher, I'm sorry. Look, it's misregistered. What do you want me to do? Send this back for recarving. What kind of brain dead idiot are just blow it through, get it going? Who cares? Like the people who are looking at this image care about that. And of course, we do. So you can see it. The left one here is registered. The right one is not registered.
It's way off.
And when you scroll down, look at this. Here you go to the bottom of the sheet. The left one's registered and the right one is registered. So that piece of wood had shrunk and they just didn't care.
Yeah.
It happens to us. Our blocks shrink. We take the time and trouble to, put them in a bucket of water, put a hot towel on one face to expand it.
Yeah.
Not that we're, glorifying ourselves. Just our business model is a bit different than their business model.
Yeah.
We're trying to make nice, finished woodblock prints. They were just in the printing business, the porn printing business for the most part. I think somebody asked, maybe just before you came or something, someone said, so yeah, in that circumstance, then this is going to be the best quality reproduction of this image that's ever been made. And you're looking at it in that sense, yes, it will be.
Yeah.
But it sounds a bit pretentious. It's just simply a different business model. Those guys were completely capable of doing stunning, fabulous work. And they did so when the dollars were on the table,
Yeah.
when it was necessary, when it was required.
Someone says, I wish I had the chance to get into carving. Anyone can do
You have
it.
two hands?
Yeah. Yep, just do it. If anyone shares the Acolytes page, that's a group of people all starting carving and printing.
Seems pretty quiet
Yeah, I
recently.
think
haven't seen
lately
any-
it's been a bit quieter, but if new faces jump in and start showing their work, that could be great. For a while there was a really, really cool place
jumping.
to see all sorts of people.
I'm not sure. I don't feel
starting.
responsibility for it. Should I have gone in and contributed more and made more comments? I'm not sure. I don't want to be in there too much to make it look like it's my page.
Yeah.
Dave's the guru. So I kept away from it, but I don't know.
Yeah. The page only has your likeness at the top of the page. It does indeed. I think I know that reference. Bob Guccinone. I don't know. Guccinone.
Publisher of Penthouse magazine back in the day.
Okay, they're saying as long as Dave doesn't become him of woodblock prints. Yes.
One of the most grotesque publishers of porn ever.
Got it.
I mean, the Playboy era had some semblance of intellectual intent. The stuff this guy published had no semblance of that whatsoever. That's outrageous and whatever you could be. That was his shtick. I think he's gone now. I don't know.
Got it.
So, I mean, when I started this, it's actually been a few years now. This project's been cooking, and it was a consideration. If I did a project like this, make this octopus print, is it going to? I mean, is that going to be what I'm remembered for? You know what I mean? That guy in Canada, that Canadian guy in Japan, he published all that crappy porn, I mean, whatever, you don't know how things are going to be picked up,
Right.
and what's going to be remembered and what's not going to be remembered. I made a whole bunch of really beautiful woodblock prints, but it could be that this could explode out of proportion.
Yeah.
And that could be like, that's what I'm remembered for. Oh yeah, I know that guy. Porn merchant. So this is not a zero consideration, There's a real indistinct here. We're just going to draw a landscape.
More mountains.
It's like a sea edge with islands and stuff.
Yeah.
Coastline, yeah. So coastline of Hokkaido or something.
Yeah.
Octopus territory.
Just please don't do a Shunga subscription series. Or maybe do, but use a different cover name, pseudonym. I don't think that's on the table.
Well, at the moment, no, but the idea of the adult print parties is certainly simmering in the background.
Yeah.
Kawaii-san wants to do parties in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And would that fly, or would it taint our brand, doing adult print parties, the print party in the evening with a relatively adult image? I don't know. Or would that be a step too far?
Yeah.
The problem with that is that, the print parties, 2 people sign up from here and 2 people sign up from there. You've got a different, group of people.
Yeah.
2 little old ladies who never drove past 20 miles an hour on Sunday mornings, whatever.
Yeah.
and they come up for an evening print party, and this comes on the table. So if we did do adult imagery in a print party, it would only be possible when the entire group was one group who
Yeah.
booked it together and knew what was going on.
Yeah, I remember you saying perhaps you'd make a minimum party size and just one group at a time.
Yeah, I think so. Although really couples 2 and 2 would be a common thing as well. So. I don't know. We'll see. Over the next week, I'll be chatting about that with the boys to figure out what to do. The problem right now, I can't implement this right now, is that if Kawai-san and Kozumi-san do an evening shift, I'm now short-staffed for daytime shot.
You don't want to work 12-hour shifts?
18.
18. I'm going to mess up pronunciation of your name. Razielz1 asks, Dave, are there still moments when you learn new things about carving? And after such a long time, what keeps you motivated to keep carving?
I don't know that I'm learning much new stuff anymore, because I'm just doing the same kind of work on a repetitive basis, just making more prints, similar technique, you know. As for motivation, it's fun. There's no reason. How can I keep motivated? I'm having fun doing it. Okay.
Good
morning. LA today, is it?
Hi. Different baseball team every day.
What?
Lights on. That one.
They're all on.
Just
Okay.
yes, switch on. Right.
It's many.
All the night lights on. Are we at the end of this year? Is that the last tentacle? I'm not really sure what I am. It's one on, there's more here. Oh, lots more. Okay, I can't. No.
Lots more,
okay.
but it's the other half.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
sure if you were skipping that.
No, I'm going on. I started at the top. So.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure if I should get finished. If this will get finished or not. I don't know. So we'll see.
What block is this one here? Is that? It looks like almost the same color as the light pink.
There's a base. There's 2 pink blocks for the thing.
Okay.
And there's a base tone and then a speckle tone, and that's part of the base tone.
Okay.
If we come up here,
Crook of her elbow.
it's different on each of the blocks. You know? So, here. She hasn't got, her skin doesn't have, come down so you can see, her skin is white paper. The octopus has a base tone, some kind of pink, and then the highlight tone on top of that.
Got it.
So her skin has nothing, the octopus does. But having said that, it seems to be different on both sides. You know? Again, her skin is white, we've got that. Put over on the other side of the thing, now across the line, I'm not convinced there is a base tone on the octopus. I think it might be one that they've left off. I don't know. It seems to be the same as her skin.
Yeah.
I really would like to get the book back from Wade-san to inspect it, but he sold it.
He sold it.
He sold it.
Oh no.
So I'm really not sure. I guess there would be a base tone, but it's just probably printed lighter. I think you can see here. So there's her skin. There's a different, oops,
Look out.
there's a bit of a different tone. So I don't know. And then as you said, some of those parts, that particular place looks too deep. Where was it? Here.
Yeah, my elbow.
There's also a part on the right hand side that's on here, this one. It doesn't make any sense. What is this? This is her body, her thigh. So there's nothing below that, can't be her. And yet it's not toned for octopus. So this is a forgotten area.
Yeah. So it should be rocks or seaweed or something.
It should be
beneath
either
there.
an octopus tentacle behind that coming through here that we can't see. Because
Yeah.
some of them come here and appear the other side.
Yeah.
Or it should be rocks, seaweed. But so they skipped it. It's not on either one.
Interesting.
So I think when I do it, I'll probably give it the base tone of the octopus. Now, this is clearly her thigh. That's okay. That's her thigh. But this area by her hand doesn't seem to match. Anyway, keep it up, Dave. Here. Let's keep going. Where am I?
Are you on 10 o'clock print party duty or anything?
No, I don't think so. The kids are handling it today. It's just two. We're short-staffed in the shop. It's Take-O-san, Koizumi-san. They can handle it.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of. I've got to send paper. Has to go to Kanai-san today, which
Right.
means I'm up to. I have to press it this morning. I wanted to show that on the screen actually, but I couldn't do that. The iPad setup is down here on the first floor, and I'm not going to hold the printing press down 3 floors. So I wanted to show the people on the screen because I've never done that on the screen.
Okay.
On the stream.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. It's got to go today. It has to go this morning so that she can get started. So there won't be any paper pressing screen.
Is Dave still going to be making the shelves or closet in the wall next to him?
Sometimes,
Yes.
it's priorities. Like I said, this has to come first. Kanai-san's paper has to come next. I've got to ship that package of the Hasui samples today, which didn't get got forgotten yesterday. I've got another batch of those to do probably tonight. And I really, really have to get a video out of it. I keep saying so, and nothing ever happens. But I've got to get the next video done.
Yeah.
And I keep saying so, but just empty words at this point. So it's a question of clearing my head, figuring out what to do, and then doing it. And part of the problem there too, of course, I've got to create a whole new video setup. Where do I sit? Do we do the new videos? I've destroyed my video studio.
Right.
I used to sit in the shop up there. It was a perfect place. I knew what to do. I knew how to do it. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
I've got to recreate something down here. And this is not such an interesting video environment. Before that shop place where I sat, there was shelves, there was pictures, there was stuffed animals, there was all kinds of stuff. It helped create a nice mood for the place to do that. And now that's all been destroyed. So. And again, the next video that was planned is a difficult one, so I should just cancel that or postpone that. Just do a simple one. Just grab one of the prints off the shelves, do a short David's Choice.
Yeah.
Just to get back into the flow of stuff. And put aside that difficult one until I get my sequence back.
Yeah. Get back in the groove of things.
Yeah.
Ken has an idea for a very short one. Could do a short, sweet video tour of the new shop and focus on one or two of the prints in the new space.
I wanted the next video to be more interesting.
Yeah.
That would be real dead easy, or another Twitch highlight stream. That would be easy. But I wanted it. It's been 2 months since I've done one. Oh my God! Here's another video from Dave. Well, that was it. I wanted it to be more interesting. So the longer you wait, the more the stress builds up about that. Who's number 22? Kershaw.
グレートカーショですね。ベストピッチャーですね。ベストプレー。
Introduce the new shop and show a couple Dave's faves.
Dave's what?
Dave's faves.
Dave's Choice, I think, is our official name.
Yes. But Dave's faves rhymes. So.
I gotta try to get a domain name for Dave's Choice, and Dave's Choice is taken.
Oh, really?
So some guy got it for something else. I'm here working on the iPad, so I've got a clock facing me here, so there's no question. Does Dave know what time it is here? I have a clock staring at me in the face here, so...
Got it.
Let me finish this tentacle and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Is that a quote? Let me finish this tentacle and we can wrap this up.
Yeah.
What's today? Today's Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow's stream will be, I guess I'll be continuing doing this, I think. It won't be finished and pasted down, so probably a continuation of this tomorrow.
Great.
And then as the fireworks stream, whether it will happen or not, at the point I have the slightest idea.
Depends on the storm.
I'll post a message about it on our Twitch channel page. I'll put a message into the graphic as I do.
Yeah.
But we won't know probably until late Saturday afternoon, because that's when the homebrew, when they're going to call it.
Yeah.
System's go, let's do this tonight, or cancel, we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we won't know probably until Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
That's the typical, you know, whatever the city just waits and see. The organizers consult with the Weather Bureau, and at some point somebody has to pull the switch. Let's do this thing, or let's postpone it.
Yeah.
I would not want to be that guy, because
Yeah. Thousands of people have already accumulated
tens of
hundreds of
thousands of people. And if they have to postpone the show itself, all the fireworks have been bought.
Yeah.
Of course, they just sit there. You know, I mean, they will use them at some future festival or next year or something. But go on and take us on.
Quiet today.
I was trained. I mean, yeah. So this is not the most interesting work. And Sugu-san didn't stop by with her ultra voice. So okay, anyway, Campson, I've done this tentacle. Let's do this. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Sign is off. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same station. Probably doing the same work here. Finishing up this one and maybe moving on to the next color. I'm not sure. We'll talk about it at that time. Can't squeeze out too much here, but
I mentioned they're quiet and suddenly the stream goes crazy. Sorry, we're wrapping up. So
it is 9:30. I do have work to do. Lots of other real work to do. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a good one.
My God, we haven't had any technical crashes. What's going on? Why did we had that beep 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 happened earlier? The bomb is going to go off.
That's true.
No glitches.
Nothing. It's been good.